Men versus women in a divorce. Is there a difference? Absolutely. I've represented hundreds of both men and women in divorce, and they are very different both in their expectations and their willingness to resolve the case. Men most often want to get the case over with and move on with their life. They're willing to pay upfront money in exchange for not having to pay anything in the future because they just want it done. They just want to move on. Women, on the other hand, are typically looking for long term security. So, whereas a man would rather pay a larger amount of money today, the woman would rather receive it slower and over time to provide that security. Women are also more interested in getting everything they're entitled to, even if it takes a bit longer. They have much more patience than men. So, yes, there is absolutely a difference between men and women in divorce. I'm often asked if there is a legal advantage in divorce between men and women. Quite often, men think the family law system is out to get them. It's simply not true. Men and women enter divorces with a presumption of 50-50 custody, meaning equal time sharing between both parties. Historically, it wasn't that way. And because of that, a lot of TV and popular culture has convinced us that mom is always going to get the kids and dad is coming on the weekends. And that's simply not true. As hilarious as Two and a Half Men is, it's not true today. Both parents are equal, regardless of gender. I am often asked if spousal support or alimony is just for women. The answer is no. I've obtained spousal support or alimony for men. What matters is the incomes, the need, the ability to pay, and then that contribution. Let's say you're a stay at home dad who sacrificed your career in support of your wife's career. If that is you and your income is lower because of it, you may be entitled to alimony. Alimony is purely a numbers game, it is gender neutral. I'm often asked if stay at home parents are more likely to get alimony than working parents. And the answer is yes. The reason why is because, but for that stay at home parent staying with the child, the other parent, who typically earns enough to support the entire household, would not be able to work the hours they do, would not have been able to invest the energy they did, or in the case of a military service member, would not have been able to deploy. In cases like that, yes, a stay at home parent is more likely to get alimony. But the reason why is because of the income history and that lost development years. The rule in Florida is that both parents must work. Parents cannot choose to stay home and receive alimony, so they will likely be imputed. However, a parent with a long term history of not working to stay home with the kids will most likely be imputed at just minimum wage, as they have not demonstrated the ability to earn more than that. Is the wife more likely to get the house? The answer is it depends. It really depends on whether the house is owned free and clear or if it is subject to a mortgage. When it's subject to a mortgage, we have to first look at who is on the mortgage. I've had cases where only one person is on the mortgage. That person, by being the sole person on the mortgage, is more likely to get the house, having to pay out equity to the other person. The reason for this is simple. If you're not on the mortgage, in order to buy the other person out, you have to obtain a mortgage. And a person who makes less money may not be able to qualify for a new mortgage on that property. Whereas if the person already has the mortgage in their name, then they don't have to do any refinancing at all. So it really does depend. It's gender neutral based on the guidelines. Alternatively, though, if a home is owned free and clear, the court can award part of the home or all of the home as lump sum alimony. This is very rare, but it has happened in cases where the wife hasn't worked for 20 years and the husband makes over $100,000 a year. In that situation, yes, the court has broad discretion to award property and alimony. If you have any question about your rights as a man or rights as a woman in divorce, please give us a call or go online to tampadivorce.com, tampadivorce.com, tampadivorce.com. We're here for you.